Welcome to the Rewind, guys. It's our season finale, episode 8. Tear. But we're happy. We're happy. Of course, you know me. I'm your host, Janae. I'm going to let the others introduce themselves now.
And I'm Jasmine Lundy.
And I'm Chris/Kanye, putting my phone on silent.
I don't like how you wasn't looking at the camera. Do that again.
Yeah, I was turning off my phone. I'm Chris Saunders, also known as Kanye, because that's what they call me.
And we're celebrating our Independence special. That's why you see us, in our colors. You see the balloons. Furthermore, the balloons were sponsored by Encourage Me Up. So thank you for Encourage Me Up for sponsoring today's episode. You can catch them on Instagram, Facebook, Encourage Me Up Balloons, or on WhatsApp, 242-424-2832. If you want to, encourage someone with an arrangement of their balloons, a just because gift, a just because gift, or, you just want to make someone day feel a little bit better, definitely try out Encourage Me Up. Now, let's get on with the rest of the episode. So, of course, the Bahamian culture is iconic in and of itself, but we have some things we kind of want to discuss. We have a few little games, some little light stuff, and we wanted to start with a this or that, or this or that segment. We got to Bahamianize it up a bit,
This or that.
So let's get into it. The first one we want to talk about is out east versus out west. Now let's get the tea. How y'all feeling? Which one?
Out east versus Providence.
Yeah, in New Providence, by the way. Let's specify. Out east versus out west.
Oh, out west all day. What even out east? What days do they?
First of all,
Live. Go to school.
I am
Out east?
die hard out west. I mean, I grew up in Southwest, but everything I love, I feel like, is out west. Out west just seem prettier. We do have traffic because that Glasgow Road don't play, but it's just when you want to go for a nice little drive and you just want to go to the beach. I feel like the beach is even a little better out west.
Way out west.
Does Glasgow Road count as
way
west?
away. Yeah.
That's
I was
west?
gonna say we need to divide where does west and east start and
I feel like Glasgow Road is the middle of the island. I could be wrong.
No, not see you all.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely more on the western
So
side.
Glasgow-
Middle is it's where we are, cable.
I would say middle would be that road for maybe Blue Hill or something. That's where I cut it off.
Okay.
And then everything on the side, on the left,
Mm-hmm.
is west, and maybe on the on the right is east.
What's our center point? The stadium? What's our?
I don't know. I'd have to see a map. But
But I feel
based
the
on-
beginning of east is Prince Charles. What's before Prince Charles?
Robinson
Marathon
Road?
I don't know.
Sea Breeze? No, that's after Prince Charles.
Sea breeze way in the back.
Okay, so Prince Charles area, I feel that's
Okay, but
when
all
you.
that y'all is called out east. Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel that's when you heading east, and then east is Winton, Yamacraw.
Sea grapes,
It's crazy.
sea grapes, all of that. Yeah.
So maybe I don't get out much, but maybe, I don't know. I haven't been out east very often, and I feel like it's one of those things where you do it if you work there or if you live there. That's just my opinion. But I know that out west seems to be,
Popping.
yeah, I guess it's more of a touristy thing too. So they restaurants in certain areas tend to be more popular, especially along the coast, because that's usually the prettier side of the island.
So our production team, Nate, he's saying Glasgow Road is literally the middle, but I feel like I have to disagree because when I'm on
no,
Glasgow
but if you
Road,
look at the map, Glasgow Road,
I
I
don't-
think runs center of the island.
okay, but it doesn't feel that way. I feel like Glasgow Road feel far from east, and it right there to west.
Because
Italy to Nito.
I think
But-
Glasgow
It
is
probably is, but it don't feel that way.
the homes, on the side of Glaston Road, Jubilee Gardens and all of those stuff, they're in the west.
Come show us them.
Carmichael Road is west, isn't it?
Carmichael
Hold
is
on.
To a certain
southwest.
extent.
It's a southwest.
By Southwest Plaza, I would think it's southwest. But
Yeah,
some of Carmichael Road is still in the west, isn't it?
When you go in, you head into Call Harbor, because all of that is Carmichael. From you hit southwest, and you end at the Call Harbor roundabout, that whole strip is Carmichael Road.
I feel like the Ministry
Could our
of Works
editors
has
put a
some work
map
to
on
do.
the screen
Yeah.
so we can know who's right?
Like,
and
why
who's
don't
wrong?
we know
I'm
this?
going to, and I'm gonna.
You're probably right, but like I said, Gladstone Road, because JFK right there, Bahama right there, I feel that's west. I don't feel like that's middle.
Boy, I
Because then
know.
on the
This
opposite
Gladstone
side of
Road,
Gladstone
very
Road,
center
it's still
island-y.
JFK. I know, but like I'm saying how it feels,
Okay.
you know? Anyway, I still out west for me.
And it's
Out
out
west
west
for
for
me.
me. It's out west.
Out west
And
for
she
me.
knows.
Okay.
West side to like
Huh?
Mhm.
east or west, Grand Bahama. We can't leave the Grand Bahamian side. East side or west side?
West.
What is west? West is like 8 Mile Rock.
Yeah, 8 Mile
Okay.
Rock, West End, that area. I
Oh,
mean, yeah,
well.
West for sure. Who goes out east? Nobody goes out east unless you live there. Or if you're catching a
So
boat
what
to
would be
Sweden
the
Ski.
eastern part of Grand Bahama?
Like,
What settlements?
like where the college is, probably like McLeanstown is probably like far east. That's why I say like you only really go east Grand Bahama if you live out there or if you're catching a boat to Sweden Key.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So definitely west, because
Okay.
West End is home to fish fry. I think Sundays.
Mm.
Yeah. And that's where they used to have Junkanoo too. Plus West End, if I'm not mistaken, I think West End is, or was, or is the capital of Grand Bahama.
I think.
I don't know. I
Yeah, because
think-
Freeport isn't.
Yeah, I think
think it
it's
is
debatable,
West.
but I think West End is the capital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving right along. Regatta versus Junkanoo.
Is that a fair comparison?
I mean, like, I don't know.
They're Bahamian
They're
like
both
festivities.
festival type of activities. So I know different islands have different regattas. So I'm just comparing. I'm putting all of them in
I
one.
feeling like I can't pick a this or that with that one.
Wow.
I pick
Yeah.
Junkanoo simply because I've never been to regatta.
Same. I've never
I've
experienced
never experienced a
regatta.
regatta.
Same. Never been to Regatta.
But like, cause like regatta don't always be one day. That is be like sometimes it's a
multi-day
whole
thingy.
weekend. So
What
you
you
get
what,
more out of the regatta. So I'd have to say regatta.
What do you do at regatta? Is it just like a big party and like you
Because all I
drink
see
and you
is
dance?
drink and thing.
Yeah,
And then the boats.
and then
Oh yeah.
and they
The
usually
sloop sailing.
usually vendors, usually people selling food and probably like some party games along the shore. There's different things you could do. It's a festival,
Right.
So it's like any other Bahamian festival. So if you ever been to, I guess Crab Fest or like, it's set up.
Well, maybe
exactly the
those would have
same.
been a better comparison than like Crab Fest versus Regatta type of thing.
But because they usually span more than one day, I'd
Uh-huh.
have to go Team Regatta.
Next, coconut water versus switcher.
It's Switcher for me. Because I don't like coconut.
Okay, nah, that depends. Are we talking about?
It's you're in the Bahamas. It's a
Uh-huh.
hot summer day.
Uh-huh.
You probably maybe went to the beach, going to the beach. You want a cold, refreshing drink in your bag. Are you gonna grab a cold bottle of switcher, or are you
Okay.
gonna request a nice cold can of coconut water?
Okay, so we talking packaged can of coconut water. Now you're
Yeah.
talking about you go inside and make switcher versus you cutting the coconut and pouring the water out. I'll go with switcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with you because I like the canned coconut water. The regular, like the organic, real coconut water, ain't all of that, but it's good for you. But it's nothing compared to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
lemonade / switcher.
Now switcher. Now correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Switcher is lemonade, but without the lemon, like with lime instead of lemon. Am I wrong?
Limeade, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Is that that's what we call switcher,
I'm
right?
not,
Just
I never
limeade?
really knew the difference. So
Yeah, this is.
I thought it was
new
just
to
like
me.
a Bohemian word for lemonade.
Yeah, I
So-
think lemonade is lemonade.
with
and-
lemon.
Yeah, and switcher
switcher
is
is
with
with
lime.
limes.
But
The
I
green
call-
ones.
I call all of those
Lemonade. Same.
When I say I'm making lemonade, I'm about to pick some limes to make lemonade.
Right.
But that's
Yeah.
because we don't differentiate limes from lemons.
We
We, just call
don't.
it sour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yellow sour.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, sour is so crazy.
Yeah, no, team switcher for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
I've never got into the coconut thing. I don't like the texture and I don't like the taste, so I can't do it. I just rather drink water at that point. let's go a little breakfast, like tuna and grits, yellow grits, or
Steamed sausages all day.
sausage.
Sausages.
Sausages.
Yeah.
I was trying to pronounce it right. Sausage.
Yeah, no, steamed sausages and grits all day. I don't know whose idea it was to eat cold tuna with hot grits,
I
but
mean,
sausages, boy.
honestly, I have to go with the third option, which is the combo, because the combo is elite. The
I
combo
don't
is
think I've
elite.
ever had
That's
the
cheating
combo.
though.
Yeah, you, you have to
listen.
choose this or that.
It's the combo.
It's
is
this
just-
or that.
I know.
And that's like an
I
extra
know.
$2.50.
Say something about this breakfast combo, okay?
We love all of our supporters.
Yes.
So for me, it depends. Because if I'm going out to purchase it, like at a restaurant or a breakfast place, I don't trust everybody's tuna. I am very finicky
Now that I
with
agree.
tuna.
I agree.
don't like a lot of mayonnaise. I like herbs, however you say it. I want all of this, So if I'm out, I have to get sausage because I would trust it more. But if I'm home, I would make tuna and grits.
Now I agree with that, because if it's a new breakfast place, I'm gonna get the sausage. I'm not gonna do tuna first. But if I eventually okay, I've been there a good enough time, so let me try the tuna and I like it, then I'm gonna start switching up, getting tuna, and then I'm eventually just gonna get the combo because the combo is elite. You know?
I don't
But
trust
yeah.
any sausage though. Like I could trust some tuna. I can't trust any. I don't know.
But
what
I
the
mean-
sausage made out of.
Everybody majority is used the same kind though, because it all tastes the same.
I mean, sausage as a whole. Like,
Isn't
Oh,
it like
the,
isn't it like bologna but thicker or something like that?
Combined guts of meats. I mean of animals. That's really what it is.
I'd rather
That's-
eat that than sheep tongue. Producer.
we need to get to the sheep tongue argument.
Okay, let's jump there now. You know, we got the typical 3 sauces: chicken, sheep, pig feet.
Sheep tongue all day.
Thank you.
All day.
I ain't gonna lie.
Now, see, when I first was getting introduced to sauce, it was always chicken. But then I realized sheep tongue was a thing. I was like, I could be basic and
Yeah,
do
sheep tongue.
chicken.
First of all, don't even do that. You are good the way you are. You are not basic because you don't like to eat the tongue of animals. Okay, I am here for you. We're not basic, Janae. I can't do sheep tongue. How do you? It's like you might as well go eat the eyeballs, the nose, like the chin, everything else.
If you put it in the sauce, like if the tongue,
What?
the tongue tastes that good. Imagine the rest.
You know what? I've never eaten it, but the
Never had sheep
thought,
tongue?
no. But the
You
thought
can't
of
even talk right now.
I can because the thought of it just gives me the ick.
Well, you can't say
I
you can't
I
say you
could
don't
get
like
it.
it.
I could understand that though.
No, I can't.
It's a tongue. Like if you really sit down and think.
Yeah, but it don't look like a tongue.
It don't.
Like, it cut up.
But one time I was eating it and I really realized I eaten tongue and I couldn't
What's
finish
even
it.
the texture?
Tonguey.
It's just like it feel like you eating mutton, but like it ain't as tough because mutton kind of like tough if it ain't cooked properly.
Technically, this is the only thing that we're eating that we always have in our mouth. Everything else, it's not.
So,
naturally
Ricky-
in our mouth.
So
Yeah,
you gonna
tongue.
eat yourself? Like is
You get-
what's
You have a tongue in your mouth.
Uh-huh.
It's not weird that it's in your mouth.
It-
Now, a leg in your mouth is weird.
no, it's not.
Two, you can't share chicken sauce because you also have your hand up in the sauce. 'Cause you
Uh-huh.
gotta pull this apart and this bone.
Uh-huh.
And that. You just gotta
Scoop.
scoop up.
And then the thing about it is the animals that because it's llamas. You know, is it sheep? Oh.
And sheep tongue.
So answer that question.
Do not edit. Do not
And I
edit
know
that
Ricky
out.
gonna leave that in, but it's okay.
That's
It's
it.
okay.
3 times.
It's okay. Sheep tongue, like the sheep's only eating grass.
What's
and
in
thing.
sheep tongue? Where is sheep tongue? Come
Like
from?
their tongue, that's shush. Like they only eating grass and stuff, right?
Uh-huh, so
They're
their
not-
tongue
They're not
cleaning.
eating other animals. I think I would have
Uh-huh.
been more grossed out if they were eating other animals, but they just eating.
But it's not
grass
like you're
and
eating
water.
like intestines and stuff like that. It's
Also, nothing wrong with eating intestines.
Nah, see, I don't do like the liver.
Moving on.
Intestine.
Moving on.
I don't do
Organs?
none of that now. I don't know about that.
this, you in the wrong country.
But yeah,
sir.
no, sheep tongue all day. Now, I have had pig ears before.
See, I know.
I have very.
You have it
very
in Grand Bahama?
vague- Yeah, I have very vague memories of eating pig ears. I think my auntie made it once.
Was it chewy?
Yes, and kind of weird because so I have a thing. I can't eat something if it looks like the part of the animal it comes from.
I get that.
That's why.
That's why pig feet, because it literally you can see the little foot.
That's why I can't eat chicken foot because it's like I eat the foot.
Yeah, like that's too much, bro.
Yeah, it can't. It can't look too much like the animal.
Like, what do you
except
eat?
for
You just
fish.
it's just bones
But
and nails.
can I say something in regards to like sauces and stuff? I'm not a historian. I could be completely wrong, but this is my view.
Okay.
I feel as though, obviously, you know, back in the slavery days and stuff like that, the slaves didn't have the best cuts of meat to eat. So what did you eat? Whatever was given to you, thrown to
Yeah.
you. And that could have been the feed and the this and the
Yeah.
tongue. And so
Oh,
in
like
order
the scraps,
to,
eh?
right, the
Yeah.
scraps. And so in order to survive, you have to mentally tell yourself, this tastes good.
Boy,
Teardrop.
I ain't Mr. Nate.
So no. So I feel as though a lot of dishes, and y'all please don't take offense to this, because I know a lot of
No, but
people
that's
in
the
other
truth of where it
countries,
originates from,
right? I
though.
feel like people in other countries, they love like different types of parts that we would call taboo, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like these dishes could have originated from not having it.
Yeah. They
And
had to
so we
make
had
do.
to convince ourselves that it's good. And I feel like where we are today, you know, we have evolved so much and we have so much
So you're saying
food.
we don't have to
We don't
convince
need it. You don't
ourselves.
have to convince
We have
yourself no
options.
more.
Like,
That
okay,
tongue
yeah.
is
Being-
good.
So I
being
get
in
you.
poverty.
Yeah.
You're an impressive.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we've moved on.
Yeah.
It's okay, you know. So let's move on.
So I don't know the history, so
history.
I'm inclined to agree with you because the argument does sounds sound. Because thinking back on all the dishes that we've mentioned so far, like sauce, which is just chicken sauce,
And water.
basically chicken and lime water. What grits and tuna, grits and sausages. And I think the basis of those meals is that they're essentially a poor man's meal.
Yeah.
Right. So you could always find tuna, and you could always get grits for cheap. Chicken sauce does not require a lot of ingredients.
No.
right.
I tried to teach my Jamaican girlfriend how to make chicken sauce, and she did it on her own the first time, and I'm like, "You putting too much stuff."
Yeah.
Like at this point, it's just chicken soup. But she can't.
Especially if it's not turning brown.
Yeah, but they can't fathom eating pale-looking chicken. So, but for us, I had to explain it to her the same way. It's a poor man's meal. You don't need all of
All
those
that.
ingredients. You get your pepper.
That
You
makes
get
sense,
your because it's a broth, right?
Yeah.
It's a
yeah.
broth.
And you just throw some lime in it, and then it's good to go.
And
feed
you
your
bake
whole
some
family.
Johnny cake, because you know they used to bake a lot of bread.
Yeah, and
It's a
Johnny-
broth, but you don't use the
And
first
Johnny
water.
cake, Johnny cake is
really
also a
chicken
poor
in it.
man's meal. Johnny cake isn't a lot of ingredients.
But it's so
Yeah.
good though. Oh
It's
my
with
God.
flour, baking powder, water,
Yeah. It's
and
so good.
that's about it. Sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how do y'all feel about Goodman's Bay versus Sanders Beach?
Is Sanders
Province.
Beach really a beach?
That
It's
is a
like a
beach.
man-made
I
beach.
don't know.
So I
How can it
think
be
it
a
disqualifies itself because
How
it's
can
not
it
a
be a
real
man-made?
beach. Because like the sand and stuff was imported in
Oh, for real?
in some of that area. Yeah, like where the parking lot is.
Mm.
Am I the only one? Am I tripping?
But it's still on the coast, so I guess.
Right.
I guess you could
I
call
mean,
it.
like, it's a water source.
Or
like a
maybe
lake
where
or thing.
they built like the parking lot and stuff, they had to like move stuff and then put stuff back. So I don't know.
You can say the
Anyway,
same thing about Goodman's Bay.
Yeah, but it's still on the coast, so I
So
guess
it's still
I'll
a beach.
I give it a beach. Still Goodman's Bay, because Goodman's Bay, I feel like you could find yourself. When I go to the beach, I don't like to be around people. Like if I see a beach full of people, I don't know how people do this. If I see a beach full of people, I go on. I trying to find an empty beach. But at least with Goodman's Bay, you could find a spot where people aren't, and then they have like that big field where you could go and you could do walks and you could go jogging and go play on the swings. Yes, adults play on the swings. This guy does.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Now, that's the exact reason why I wouldn't go to Goodman's Bay. Because there's something always happening on Goodman's Bay. Like, where people exercising, like you say, the children playing around the park, some party, don't let it be a holiday. Like, everybody at Goodman's Bay. And then, like, the second most populated beach would probably be Sanders Beach.
Which is
and
why
then
Goodman's Bay
you go
wins.
out Jaws Beach for people who want to go far and don't
I like
and try to
Jaws
avoid the
Beach.
crowd.
Yeah.
I would go to there's the strips on that West Bay / Cable Beach. There are different access points to beaches. It's still all the same beach. still all the same coast, but it's different points, like the Bob Marley one, and it's one by the roundabout. So like it's different points, and it's one of those beaches that we go to now. I think it's opposite the caves, around in that area where Sapodilla is on that strip. We go to that one, and it's rarely ever packed, and it's still really pretty. It have little rocks, but that's where I'll go to because barely anybody is be there. Sanders Beach was always my go-to, but like y'all say, it's still kind of crowded, and you'll have to walk all the way down to the end to avoid people, and then that's a far walk, and nobody into all that. When you come out the water,
I'm gonna say this. Now some people can't be talking about beaches because
why?
once you've been to Exuma,
I see. I never been.
you can't go to Nassau beaches. Like it's like okay, cool, it's fine. Y'all have beaches. I'd go in the water. But after I've been to Exuma, I'm sorry, I ain't setting foot in that dirty water. I mean, if I ain't seeing blue turquoise with these nice caustics blowing back in my, like reflecting back into my face, and I could see the fish swimming. I mean, maybe y'all have it. I don't know, but once you've experienced Exuma beaches, I feel like if you're talking about New Providence,
it sounds like we need a trip to Exuma. Then we want a little weekend trip.
Our next episode gonna be done
in Exuma
from Tropical Cancer Beach.
Maybe season 2.
Sponsored by Kanye.
How does it compare to Grand Bahama beaches?
I don't know.
Could you call out Nasuvians with your whole chest?
Right, and then you
All
go
your
to
chest.
Exuma. So,
well, y'all beach is better than y'all beach is better. I don't care what y'all say. Our beaches
this sounds like
sand.
a delusional Grand Bahamian.
Our beaches
Like
have
you were
sand.
really convincing with the Exuma thing. Like I felt real, but now it's just like Grand Bahama just better.
No,
like,
but our
No, but you know what? To be honest, they're like the islands are more so like untouched. Like the smaller islands, like Exuma, and even like Harbor Island have beautiful beaches with the pink
Yeah,
sand and
nice.
stuff
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So there are other islands that do have better beaches than
I agree.
Nassau. I agree with that.
I agree.
And y'all have so much development. So like for me personally, while I understand that Bahama created a lot of jobs, to me it ruins what I feel would have been a very good what do you call it, a skyline or just a view, because it's like you're trying to look at a sunset and it's like there's this big building in the way. So it's like there's too much development for me to really enjoy what I want to enjoy out of a beach. Sometimes I just want to see trees. I mean, I understand that we have a lot of casarenas around because they're invasive, but I don't mind. It's better than seeing those giant 10-story mega structures blocking the skyline. Which is why Family Island beaches are better.
That's probably true.
So would
Freeport
you
Beach is better
say
than Nassau beaches.
say we need to do a little bit more of protecting our beaches, or like prohibiting a certain amount of buildings or like construction work in the area of our beaches?
I would say we need to redefine what we call development. I feel like we think development is just cutting down forests and putting buildings there. Like in our mind, where maybe there was a time in Nassau where you could drive and pull on the side of the road and pick cocoa plum off the side of the road. And for us, development is cutting all that down and putting a food store where you go and buy kiwi.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against it, but we just need to rethink how we see development and not just put a hotel here, put a hotel there.
And preserve some of our land.
Yeah.
I love that.
I agree. So we're gonna wrap up this discussion on the future of the Bahamas, and let's go a little lighter now. So everyone, let's say your favorite or iconic Bohemian moment that you either lived through or just in general. Anyone could go first?
Okay, so I really do hope I can find a job after this. So was it the parliamentarian who couldn't pronounce the numbers, and she kept repeating it over and over and over?
Miriam Emanuel?
Yes.
Emmanuel?
Yeah. I wasn't gonna call names.
Oh,
Could
sorry.
you please like that out? Please edit that
Edit
out.
that out.
Yeah, that was just. I mean, I feel bad. I understand it was probably a
all been
rough
there,
day, but
but
that was just hilarious.
Like
okay?
she couldn't get it, and I was in UB at the time,
Uh-huh.
and I think we had to write like an essay with Alvino because we did media journalism, And when I watched the clip, I was like, this woman, like, not to laugh. I'm sorry,
Right.
ma'am. I'm sorry. But it was just like, she just couldn't get it. And it was so bad.
I hope she can laugh at it today.
I hope so too. Now time has passed.
I don't know. I feel like Bahamians,
Our politicians are funny,
Bahamians is troll hard.
whether
though.
they know it or not.
We is troll hard, and I feel like at some point we could have cut us some slack, man.
I
Like-
know, but
It's not.
I
it's-
guess because
it's
she
not
is
an
a
easy-
politician.
It's not an easy job being in the public eye.
No.
24/7. We could cut us some slack. I mean, it was funny. And,
Right.
And like
It
she said, I
was.
hope it's something she can laugh at now, because we're still laughing. For me,
Uh-huh.
I think iconic moment that I lived through, and it's something I didn't understand in the moment, but it was the Golden Girls medal win in the Olympics, and I remember them visiting our school. I was in Hugh Campbell at the time, and I remember it was a big thing, and like I say, at the time I didn't understand. But I just remember being so hyped and so excited for these people I didn't know. Mind you, I saw it on TV, but like I didn't know what was going on. But just living through that moment,
Exciting.
like I saw that was the first time I saw the nation had like they were on one accord in terms of their national pride. There was no
Yeah.
disagreements.
Yeah.
It was just all celebratory. The motorcades were everywhere, and I just remember being a part of it, not even knowing who Debbie Ferguson was, who Pauline Davis was. Like I didn't know who they were before then, but I can certainly say I knew who they were because of the impact it had on my life. Just seeing that for the first time as a kid, and then seeing Bahamians rally behind other Bahamians in that way that I was completely unfamiliar with. So for me, yeah, that was the moment.
What about you, Janelle?
I would say one that we've all unfortunately had to go through, which is just so funny to me, but like back during the pandemic when the F&M was in administration and we all had to go to the grocery store based on our last name.
In alphabetical order.
In alphabetical order, like that
Home starving.
was crazy.
That felt so weird.
That felt so weird. Even now,
who came
thinking
up with
about it,
that?
like, I probably
Fire them.
probably their team to give some type of order to it, and it makes sense.
It doesn't.
I try to give
It
them the
doesn't.
credit.
It
I
doesn't.
try and y'all. Okay, in terms of just trying to keep the order, that's the only part.
It
Okay.
doesn't.
You can
I
not
tried.
justify
I tried.
telling people you have to show me ID in order for
That was-
you to
that was
get into a
crazy.
grocery store to
And
feed
then it
your
was
family.
like fighting, not fighting like physical fighting, but like the pushing and the shoving, trying to get into the door. I remember because my mommy is a banker, so she was considered an essential worker. And there were times like walking with her, and I had to be like right close underneath her because I'm like, hey, I with her. Or I couldn't even go in because I wasn't considered essential at the time. And then I heard like other people be like, I'm essential worker too. I'm essential worker. Like, let me get in. And it was crazy. Like passing, you just thinking, oh yeah, I just want to just stop and get some grapes. And you in the hot sun for hours, like the line
That was
long.
just really bad.
That was crazy.
Those dark days for us.
I pray we never have to go through that again in life.
So was
But-
it just that, or was it the entire
I mean,
duration of the emergency powers? orders?
no, that one stood out to me, but like the memes that came out of the pandemic, like anytime we heard
My fellow
Bahamians, oh my gosh, just like
People say
bro,
their
what
belly break
now?
down.
Like for real.
Some people probably had PTSD.
I
hearing that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like that, and I remember it was funny when Clint was doing his lives and stuff, running around the town, and everybody's making. And I missed the first one, but I tried to catch the second one. And I think I did catch it. And then I remember when Clint got on the phone, he tried to call somebody. It's like they're not letting me through. They're not
Like
letting me
through
through.
the barricade.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it was
Lord.
like, no, Clint, you can't do it. I felt like he got lit shame, and he going back in the van and close the door. But like,
Producer, I ain't gonna lie, you have to edit that out. I just have to go OPM.
oh Lord. But
keep
okay,
that,
just
He know what he did.
Clint Watson going live during that time. That was a public thing, you know. We could
Yeah,
talk
that
about
was
it.
that was
public,
funny though.
you know.
Like it was like
But
road,
yeah, like driving around and getting shut down and you know trying to talk to the office like that. The whole pandemic wasn't real. Like when I mean by that, I mean like it was real, but like it just didn't feel like this is real life.
Like this is a
like
joke.
this really happening.
Y'all gotta be joking. Say psych.
This is an illusion. Say psych right now.
Yeah.
Like those moments, like that was crazy.
And I think
Yeah.
what makes that such an especially iconic moment is that was one of those times where nobody's pain was greater than the next. Like we were all in that together.
Going through it.
And for as much as I was suffering, you were suffering.
Uh-huh.
For as much as our producer was frustrated, she was equally frustrated. Y'all probably, I don't even know if y'all was cool at the
curfews.
time or if y'all knew each other at the time, but everybody was going through the same
Yeah.
struggle. Everybody, shoot, I think we even reinstated what was that thing that they did back in the early 1920s, rum running. Back in the Prohibition era, like that even came back.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I
But
participated
this
in
is
it,
the Bahamas.
but yeah, we instantly reverted back to rum running, and it was like,
Wow.
and like seeing these networks, trucks just running around
Yeah.
delivering bottles. It was
But
like,
what I would say is
I
that
love it.
I love how a lot of businesses kind of flourished during that, like Craven. Like, what was Craven? Did Craven even exist
I think that was born out of the.
6 months before.
before?
Before it started.
But it definitely blew up. I know like discount distributors is another like food type of place. I felt like they did really well. They had an app and all. Because I guess if you didn't feel like going to the food stores, you could have gotten like a nice package deal from them, like with meats and, you know, they're not sponsored. But I feel like some certain businesses as it relates to that, especially with food related, they did really
Yeah, some
well.
people-
Or like
some people
online
had-
based.
Some people had to get very creative. R.I.P. to
Yeah.
the businesses that did not survive.
Yeah.
Galleria, I with you, feel you on that one.
But I feel like y'all was going downhill before then. You know. So let's see. So
We appreciate your service.
Yeah,
Gallery.
yeah.
But you
I
know
see
what? There
what
were also people in the pandemic who would get your groceries from the grocery store and deliver it to you.
Yeah.
That was a
So-
big thing too.
A lot of things came out of it. A lot, like Kanye said, a lot of businesses ended, but a lot of people had to be creative. They had to find more ways to utilize social media more. I feel like that pushed people to use social media more in their businesses and really realize the importance of social media, which helps for
yes.
people like with us in our field, you know, dealing
The
with social
orange economy
media,
and
all of that. Yeah. And I feel as though that's probably one of the reasons why there's so much push and attention to the creative world now, because like, hey, the internet was really interneting, because without y'all, we wouldn't have been able to be connected with
Starving.
our families. We couldn't get out the house. We couldn't talk
Go
to
to
our
school.
grandparents. We couldn't
Yeah,
go
to
to
do
school
college
for
from
virtual
online.
learning. Listen to me. I was so happy with virtual learning though.
I
It was
yeah.
rough for a lot of people, but my experience wasn't bad because one, I was catching the bus to school, and I mean, I didn't have to catch bus for 2 years. I was happy. I was so happy. And then, like, you know, tasks and thing, you gotta do your own thing. A lot of people had open books, so I ain't talking about cheating. A lot of lecturers realized I ain't in your house with you, like, you may
But
cheat,
with
but
our major was different though.
it was, yeah,
like,
it was different.
specifically.
Nah, I talking about like my general eds. When I still had like little exams and stuff, they gave open book. I mean, we gotta be real, you know what I mean? But that experience wasn't too bad. But I don't know if you want to talk about it. but overall, like the pandemic was just a lot of things was going on. A lot of things
We were
popped
forced
off.
to. We were forced to catch
We were
up a
forced
lot.
And
to
evolve.
create a whole new norm.
Yeah.
That lockdown, like people was dying. Like hookah lounge, that's another business that like pop off during the pandemic. That that Gladstone Road like area, that was packed right up.
How?
People when like the curfew kind of
During
lifted a
COVID,
bit.
people were sharing hookah?
No, like this when it lifted a bit and people had an outing, but the hookah lounge was like the main spot. Like the lines of cars was like stretched on. Glasgow road trip. But anyways, we don't need to go into details for that.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting, like that whole experience for like them 2.5 years. That was
One for the books.
iconic on its own.
Yeah.
But that's been our episode. Thank you guys for watching our independent special. It's been our season finale, and we are so thankful. Thank you to our host Jasmine, our guest host, who's been a remaining host, Kriston, which is also known as Kanye, our producer who's behind the scene, Ricky, production, Nathaniel, of course myself, thank me.
And also thank you to other people that has helped us as well. Why you look at me like that?
I wasn't sure what you was
like
gonna say,
Ray
but
has also assisted with us.
TC
So thank
at
you
one point
that.
as well.
Yes,
Thank you
so
to
thank
TC.
you.
Thank you to everyone involved for making the rewind.
And thank you to
most of
Christina.
all to Christina, the Christina Dragovich. This was her baby. And with the help of the digital team at Our News, you know, we produced this and we made this a thing. And she wanted it to be a thing for so long, but it's now finally a thing. And, you know, we're thankful for her as well. And
Yes. Honorable
Kriston
mention.
Seymour, because it's two Kristons. He's Kriston and there's another Kriston.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
thank
know
you to
Kriston.
Kriston as well. Thank you to everybody. If you
And thank you for Miss Regina on the makeup.
Oh yes, thank you. Makeup. Thank you.
never
Thank you.
reminded.
Thank you to everybody. Anybody else? Let's not forget anybody else.
I mean, when you start calling names,
To whoever has supported us in any way,
Yes.
we thank you. We thank you
Yes.
for the likes, the even giving your input on how we can improve, because we've
Yes.
come a long way. To all of our guests who appeared on our show, thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you so
To any
much.
and everyone who has done anything to help this show to become what it is,
Thank
we
you.
thank you.
Thank the haters.
Also, thank you to our lovers and supporters. And if you've given feedback that was constructive, we thank you for that as well, because you've helped us to be a better show. And we hope to see you next time. Remember that this show was sponsored by Encourage Me Up. And that's a wrap, guys.
cue outro.
I feel like we would have been more excited. Whoa!
My
All
bum
right.
be hurting so bad.
Oh man, this is hard work. I don't know how y'all do this all the time.
I have to pee.
And my mic kept falling.